right, everybody, welcome back. We're here at ESL Pro League Season 5, Week 3, the final day of Week 3, and we just saw SK take down Luminosity on Cobble.
Even with a lineup change mid-match.
Even with a stand-in, a manager.
Yeah, a manager.
I've already heard that one before. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it'll probably come to us eventually.
Well, look, we're going to get into cash now. All right, and obviously this one might fare a little bit different for either side, or are we going to see a lot of the same storyline?
I think it's going to be a lot of the same in that sense. What's worse for Luminosity is that Taco's going to be playing from the get-go in this matchup, which I definitely don't think is going to be any sort of help to them. The problem is, obviously, when you go up against a team that is just on most bases better than you, you're going to have an issue, especially with the map pool as well. So you don't really have that ace up your sleeve when you're playing a top-tier team because they're going to be well-versed on pretty much everything. And that's really the issue we run into now. So even though Cash might not be SK's staple in terms of their go-to pick in that sense, it's still going to be stronger than Luminosity's.
No, absolutely. And I guess to take a look at the Luminosity side of things here on Cash, we've got Eric de Beer Stromberg standing by. Eric, what do you got for us, man?
Thank you, Stunna. And we're going to take a look at Luminosity versus CLG on Cash. As you can see right here, CLG is going to play a very aggressive B setup as Luminosity is doing a standard kind of default, sitting back, waiting around. And as you can see, CLG gets a kill right off the bat. Now, this prompts CLG like, hey, we pushed B. We made a lot of noise. You guys shouldn't go here, right? So they're going to stack 1B eventually. Hayes going to fall back. And then, but Luminosity, they got that mind game going on. They're going to come back to B. They're like, no, we don't buy this. We don't buy that you guys are actually B. We're going to work it slow, take our time. As CLG stacking 3 people A and 1 person middle, I don't know why you want to do that on a 5-on-4. Just play conservative. You don't have to overcompensate for anything. As you can see, they just walk into B, easy kill from Destiny, and CLG ends up having to save the round because they over-rotated too early. LG read that off the bat, and they just took B. Just one person, 4-on-5. So CLG lost a round more than LG won. I don't know. Who knows? But LG did a great job on reading the play, hitting it home, and winning the round. Back to you, Stunna.
Thanks, Eric. All right, real quick, give me a prediction going into this one.
It's not going to be a surprising one, but I'm going to go with SK taking Cash as well.
I'm personally shocked that you picked SK in this.
I'm here to throw curveballs.
All right.
Yep.
Well, let's see if Luminosity can do it here on Cash. Standing by to take the action to you are Blue and Dazed.
All right, yeah, thank you very much. I believe we're pretty much going to echo the same sentiments as the desks there, with SK having a pretty good chance to just sweep through this one as well.
I mean, they're definitely the better team, but if Luminosity has a chance on a map, I don't think it would have been Cobble. I think it would be Cash. SK vetoed Cash for the longest time. They're just now trying to play it because, I think they probably want to keep banning Nuke after losing to Cloud9, because it used to be Cash. That was their ban. Then they tried playing Nuke. Then they said, hey, we suck at this. And then they started banning Nuke and then playing Cash. So they're kind of going back and forth, right? Luminosity is a pretty good Cash team as well. So we'll see. I think if Luminosity could beat them on any map, I think it would be Cash. So this is going to be their best opportunity. This is going to be their best chance to take out, one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly an upset for them to increase their record. They're probably going to be one of those teams that's fighting towards the very end of the top 6, which will more than likely end up being the ones that qualify for the LAN.
I would think so. It's crazy because if you would have asked me just 3-4 months ago, I would have said, no way could Luminosity even battle for top 6. No way. But because there's so many teams that I think they should be able to beat pretty consistently.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have an over 500 record. And I think they could possibly compete for it. We'll see. It's so top heavy in the ESL Pro League right now.
Well, the NA landscape is just so unstable at the moment, too. I mean, you have like Cloud9 and Liquid is pretty, stable entities, but now, with Optic losing Stanislaw and, all this drama going on, they have kind of fallen off where they were previously, the best at the end of the year, and then there's really no one else below them that can compete among that triangle there.
But the improvement that LG has had in the past, 4 months or so has been, very good. They have come from, a good Premier team, if one of the best Premier teams, I think they placed 3rd in Premier, right? Third, 4th or something like that, to becoming middle of the pack pro team.
Yeah.
That's a pretty huge leap, from, battling teams like Rush into now being, you know, maybe like battling for like 9th to 6th spot in Pro League. So their improvement has been great.
Well, immediately at the start of this one, actually, they're going to lose Destiny. Although they did good damage to Phelps on his initial push, it was Fur that swung back in directly into this garage to battle the members of LG that managed to pick up a kill there. So now after that, it's left into the 4v5, and they are just going to try to sneak over here towards B and go for an all-in execute. Worked out great at the start, but the problem is now they're going to have trouble getting up onto the platform itself. SK still holds good control here. One of the T's crossed over here towards the T room, but now he's going to have to go back in. That's a great headshot on the Phelps, but it's not going to mean anything as Taco immediately trades him back out, and SK do close out the round.
Yeah, and they, you know, SK had a great setup to stop that. They already had that player in Heaven being Phelps. There's no smoke going down there. And one of the reasons he is Heaven there is because he has about 30 HP. So, you know, you could play Heaven, you could play a nice headshot angle, not really have to worry about your health being too low. He's able to impact the round while they're hitting B and getting that kill. And then Cold in the site is just, you know, I think he's going to end up, if they start playing Cash, just from the limited time that I've seen him play it, as SK takes a very fast aim main control, Fur getting pushed up right away, super close. I think people are going to start talking about, you know, Cold being one of the best anchors of BNC.
Well, PKL actually does catch the trade on the Fur here, although he was set up really well to actually get a triple kill. Unfortunately, just gets on a one-dig by PKL, so he'll find himself dead there. Reapplication of Molotov is going to come in from Taka, though, so it is going to hold LG outside of the site for right now, unless they all want to try to funnel through Squeaky, which probably not going to see that. Taco, though, still playing close, and after this molly again, you can see Yell and the others really trying to upset with these deagles. Beyond PKL's shot there really hasn't been all that much that is connected, and two of their own guys that have been going for these peaks have been slowly whittled down a little bit. PKL's down at 26. Yell's sitting over here at 54 right now, so, and I mean, this combined with the fact that they really haven't taken a whole lot of map control just doesn't make it look very good for them to actually win out this force currently. Although, changing the game plan now, obviously, you have the 3 stack still on A. It does look like LG are going to go out for mid, where Fallen now is going to have to challenge. It's at quite a long range, so there was a chance there, but he's safely going back inside of Z here. But also, with the damage being done further towards Yell, he may get a bit hungry for these kills, at which point we could see him either over-aggress and lose his life, or, well, back in A main, see Taco being able to swing back out. Dispatch of PKL, trying to go for a second one, but again, the trades remain strong. Fallen, though, holds off Yell in mid, and now they're down to 2. Phelps, I think, will just play this pretty safe. Holds a bit of an aggressive angle to take them down before they can kill the players over there at Toxic Cross, but yeah, he'll find those last 2 kills against Showtime and SHZ, and it'll still be SK claiming the second round.
Yeah, a little bit scary for SK there. Fallen almost got caught out in the middle. Had he died, that could have been a very different round. But the one dig didn't happen, and they end up living with 3 alive. And look at Fallen. He buys an op. He's anticipating maybe they will buy here. Just wants to play it safe for it. They're not sure how much they bought, right? Because majority of them didn't even have head armor. So, you know, they might have thought, hey, maybe they're just going to dig up and then try to force buy here or something like that. So push comes from B. Fallen just holding middle with his off, and Phelps just behind them all. About 15 seconds in the round.
So he's got a big flank opened up already here to potentially crush them. He kind of just holds in the doorway for right now, though, but a moment later he'll go back outside towards mid. As the rest of LG really struggling to kind of get anything done here. Phelps peeking out there, but Yell really not capitalizing on that at all. Just kind of panics a little bit, so now Phelps is going to be able to line up the shot. Already 2 gone down. Nice trade from SHG to grab the headshot against Phelps, but the nade from Coldzera destroys the remaining health pool there for SHG, and he's even going to grab those last 2 kills too. So losing like 1 or 2 players here in the first couple rounds, kind of what you expect, especially with how aggressively SK are playing currently. But beyond that, really clean, and we're exactly where we expect to be right now with the 3-0.
Absolutely, and they're going to keep 2 SMGs, so 2 M4s, 2 SMGs, and an op, and we'll see how these SMGs play. You know, look at the spots that Cold and Taco are going to play, because a lot of people with SMGs, they don't know how to make an impact with these rounds. But I promise you, you know, Cold and Taco are very, very good at making an impact and kind of knowing how to play with them, because you got to switch up your playstyle a little bit when you have SMGs, right? And there's advantages to have them, and you want to take full advantage of those.
Taco tries to go in, but the flash I think messes up a little bit there, so they cancel that. Pretending like that never happened. And the rest of LG still just lined up in a default. Thankfully, they didn't have anyone from the LG side pushed up into Squeaky, so there was no more punishment on that, but it actually could have gone pretty badly had that have been the case, because that flash would have not hit the guy in the hole at all.
Yeah, Pickle probably would have killed him. He was in a really good counter spot for that. But you know, the SMG is actually really good in a spot like that because you're going to be able to run full speed after that flash and just keep moving. Like, you're just going to hard strafe very, very quickly around that door. You might be able to catch somebody. So now a nice mid takes coming out from LG. SK is not really going to be able to compete with that. They're going to have to give it up.
Yeah, so LG being able to get that. Problem being, though, is this is just happening now, and they do have to kind of start their execute here within the next few moments. Fur being able to dip in there and execute one of these guys, I believe, by getting aggressive there through the squeaky halls. So finally they re-aggress, and because no one from LG was watching that, he just walks right in and grabs a free kill onto Yell. Now they're going to go for sort of a hackneyed attempt at a B play. There's still 2 players in the site. Good news, both are on platforms. It's actually going to be really easy to prevent them from being able to spot any of this, and it gives LG a whole lot of site controls. They do push back in, but again, just like back over there with Broken Wall on the B side on Cobble, they're really slow to take this control, so it's bought so much time for Rotates to roll back in 1-1 at the start, but they've only got 10 seconds now to clear out Phelps, get that bomb onto the ground. They do take down 1, but Phelps is here for the trades now, and also Fallen bailing them out. SHZ picking up 1 more kill, but then Fallen from up on top finishes off the job and pushes SK forward as they take control of this first gun round. 4-0 now, so far undefeated in this map.
Yeah, and not only that, the bomb was down by Checkers, so they really didn't have any chance there at winning that round, even if he was able to, you know, kill Fallen. And Fur pushes door, gets that kill. And the rotate just came out so quick. The double smokes actually came out from Cold and Phelps, I believe. And, you know, they just couldn't push the site, and time just dwindling. It was just not something that was going to happen.
Showtime looking to take some pot shots there to the smoke, trying to line it up, and he actually does get good damage on the Cold. But the HE grenade followed through and knocked off about half of his HP directly after that, and we saw him being taken down. The good news for LG is that they did manage to trade this back out over here in mid. SHZ playing to the short angle here, looking for headshots. He's already been able to dispatch a Fallen there, back by Z, as you can see his corpse on the left side. But Fur also challenging things. The nade goes a little bit too deep, so SHZ has the angle, but the shot not going to be connecting. Meanwhile, they got very aggressive here out towards the garage. Taco is going to dispatch of 1 PKL right in the face of SHZ, takes him out. But there's a very early flank opened up, and now it's basically just Pickle left alive, sitting here in quad, but he has brought it down to a 1v2. Already 2 kills for himself here, but 2 more to grab, and the bomb is down in the open once again, so it will be a little bit tough to work with. Time is much more in the favor of LG on this round, though, but PKL does make the mistake of peeking out directly into Coldzera, and he'll end the round for SK.
Yeah, still a good round, though, from LG. I mean, they got 2, you know, op kills, or killed 2 players with ops there, and, you know, Fallen and Taco. I think Cole was probably able to pick it up, but, you know, they got a lot of kills, 3 kills on that round, and just, you know, hitting SK's money a little bit.
We can see, okay, Yell just tries to go directly out towards mid this time around. Thankfully for SK, it is a miss. But now they also get aggressive over here inside of Squeaky. What they attempted to do a few rounds back, they go for it now, and it works out as PKL, one of the biggest fraggers for LG, is down right at the start of the round, which is not something that they want to have to deal with, especially considering the way things tended to go back on that last map here. Coldzera already prepped for a counter boost, and that's the bomb, so he can just camp right up here and sit back to wait until when LG have to move into retreat. But actually, no, he's going to be a lot more aggressive than that. It's a bit awkward as he does jump behind Yell. Yell legs him on the way down, but then Coldzera is able to finish off the job, but Destiny is there to take him back out of the play. Problem being, though, is that with that, I'm pretty sure Coldzera already got full read as to what's going on, so any attempts to go directly into A are going to be met with a huge stack of players from SK. They've got 2 in the site now, another one watching out for mid pressure. They still have Phelps who pushed into A main, but Destiny actually manages that, so we're even again. Back down onto a 3v3. They know that there is presence inside of Squeaky, though, so SHZ is really not going to be able to push back out of there anytime soon. They give this up, and it looks like they're going to try to change it over to B again.
Yeah, and Taco rotated out to watch the Z, or the mid run out, and now he's going to go back to B, but I don't know if he's going to get there in time. The site might already be taken.
Yeah, look at back in, and Taco even getting intel to suggest that they're going back into A, which is certainly not the case.
Yeah, it's SAG at the door, the smoke dissipates, and Fallen gets caught in the back. Another kill onto Fur, and this is certainly going to be an LG round win.
Yeah, SHZ, we'll see if he can just clean up the last guy alive here. It's going to be Taco. He holds on for that one to take him down, but now he's in a race against time as he just pushes over to this other side. It's not looking like he's going to save. At the very least, he might just peek back in to try and take down 1 or 2 of these guys if they're in the open. But we'll see if he actually goes for the full commitment. Just checking it, but yeah. Nothing to be spotted in the open there near the platform or even inside of the tree room. So he'll back himself up now and look to carry that op into the 7th round.
Imagine if you wallbang checkers there and killed him.
That would be next level.
That would have been, because he was walling stuff. I was thinking like, oh my god, he might do it, but instead he's going to save the op, and that's a good save because I don't think their money is too great right now. I think they'll be able to full buy because he saved that op. So yeah, he should be able to drop Phelps, or sorry, not drop Phelps, probably drop Fallen, and Fallen will drop an M4 maybe, or maybe they'll go with a double op. So they opt for the double op. One of them is going to have to be on an ump or something like that, and that's going to be, let's see if it's Phelps or Taco.
It's Phelps from the look of things right now.
Yeah, I think so, but this is still a pretty good buy. Double op setup with 1 SMG if I'm lost and an M4. Like, this is more than fine, especially because, well, all 5 of them are going towards B, so it's going to be a quick B hit.
Fallen will have to be the one to defend it here. LG actually do slow their roll a little bit to try and deploy utility, really prevent Fallen from going off on them if they tried to go directly in for the push here. Flashbangs out, they connect in a great way. You can see Fallen, though, not really being one to try and aggress directly against this, and he's been smoked off on both sides now, so he's actually going to have trouble doing a lot. There's no one else in that site. He flashes in to get himself behind the box here, so he has that position, and now he can just pick them off from behind. Only getting one, though. SHZ trades it, but he, too, is down at 19 HP. Phelps trying to play around this smoke, but he can't get a kill, so Destiny taking him back down. The guys from SK are down to 3. Taco getting flashed back out, missing the shot. That'll let Destiny go through, and oh, he's messy on the spray, but thankfully Taco was so blinded by the flashbang, he was not allowed to recover. Keep in mind, though, really great damage done to 2 of the players on LG, but the problem is that, yeah, Coldzera and Fur really don't have any room to work with, and now that he has lost his teammate, Fur going back in, this is going to be a Hail Mary attempt, and it won't work out very well. Just 1 kill for him, and PKL trades him out to give LG their second and put SK onto a full save.
Yeah, that was such a strange round from SK. I mean, everybody's kind of just creeping through smokes as they're taking sites. Fallen able to get 1, but then dying SHZ. Phelps not able to take advantage of the fact that, you know, they were looking at Fallen. We saw him with the ump there. He almost got out a double kill. And then Cold somehow in the back of the B boxes. I wish I knew how that happened. And then they knew he was there somehow. So that was a really crazy round. And that's what that does when you smoke off both angles of Checkers, you know, Checkers' entrance and the other spot. Like, it just puts so much confusion just around the map, and LG ended up thriving in it.
Well, for SK, they will try a bit more aggression this time on their full eco round, just upgraded pistols. As we can see, Taco, though, actually being able to impact here. Catches, I think it's PKL trying to go for very early aggression outside Squeaky, and they knock him down there. Phelps also would try to counter boost, but he's going to cancel that pretty quickly when the Molly sends him going back. There was someone that was available a second before that, too. Looked like he might have been able to catch him crossing back further back towards mid, but I think he missed his opportunity there. And so they'll have to work this with a man down against them. Coldzera, though, to try and challenge this is going to be almost certain death. So he peeks out for 1 or 2 shots, goes in and gets a second one there. That's now Showtime been dinked to 20 HP. If he can find him again, he can certainly finish him back off, but on the repeat, Yell is available to take him back down here on the site. Phelps getting knocked out pretty quickly here too. Taco is trying to do work with that rifle, but again, only little tidbits of damage here, and it seems like most of the players rotating back in are being handled. Fur did pick up 2 kills, but now they're going to go back out towards mid, and Taco's still with the AK. But going towards mid here, I'm not sure if they're actually going to attempt to go back in and go for this.
I think they will, and
yeah.
This is really, really smart because they knew that both were spawn, and Yell might get caught out of position.
Apparently not. Ready for that one. Picks up the first kill, but oh, he trades at his gun when he swings out the second time. Had to have misclicked or something. Taco catches Yell there. And now Destiny looking to 1v1 this. Taco upgrading to the op in this case too, but moving in, he tries to sneak it, and it's not going to work out. Destiny finishes off the round and allows for LG to soar up towards 3 here.
Yeah, but still a great a great eco round for SK. Puts them 1 step closer into breaking LG's money at 5-3. So they are going to buy here. It's definitely, it's really not a great buy. We'll see if Taco, what he wants to buy is 49.50 ops for the M4. And SK has been doing a lot of trickery. They've been doing a lot of pushes early round. They're trying to, you know, fight LG at areas of the map early on instead of like playing any type of a default setup, and LG's doing a good job. I mean, 3-5 is not bad, especially with the economic state that SK's in.
So Yell's up on boost right now, looking to see if he can find White Box or Z pressure. There's certainly a lot of presence from SK sitting in mid, so he may get his chance yet, but for right now, nothing being found, and he just kind of creeps over top there, while eventually falling back down below. Fur and Fallen are the 2 that have aggressed into mid and are looking to hold this, but that leaves, specifically looking at the A side, that leaves an incredibly weak LG have really developed into a pattern, though, in these last couple rounds of kind of avoiding A, with the exception of having PKL go for the aggression there. That may be changing in this round, which means that these mid guys have to be really fast on the rotate. That or Fallen needs to be really successful in his attempt to flank back out. He's already kind of revealed himself with his flashbang going inside. No one physically spotted him, but they have to have known that there was going to be someone attempting to push back through. Now the rest of LG get themselves inside of A main and prepare for this push. Well, they still have 2 players on the CT side back down in mid, so once more, it's all on Taco right now. Fur moving back up, though. He gets himself into the Raptors, so he's got a pretty solid watch over here of Squeaky if PKL tries to go for the peak. He already tried it once, and you can see he's been dropped down to 63 HP, but now the time's getting low. The rest of the team's going to move, and they actually dink Fur down to 38 through the wall there. On a repeat, Fur certainly getting the better of PKL. Yell, though, is going to impact against Taco, immediately taking down the player watching for Quad, and that will give up the site. LG should be good to find the plant, but now Fur up on top, he takes down PKL, and Phelps is very creative with this smoke. He's seen a bit early, though, and that is going to allow Destiny to take him down. Fur with one more, going for 2, but no, can't be done. SHZ is the one to knock him out. They've even seen the player trying to go up on top, so Yell will take out coldzera at the truck angle, and they already know Fallen's around here somewhere. He impacts for 1 frag against SHZ. If he wants to go back in, he needs to do it now. There's no kit in hand. I'm not sure if one of the CTs had one on the site somewhere, but if he does, he's got to commit time to be able to go and watch for that one. Showtime sitting in the smoke. There's nothing really to be seen from Fallen as he peeks back up here. No mistakes made in positioning from LG. So I think he is just going to sit back, fall back now, find himself a fight with Showtime. But yeah, the more important thing is getting out of here with the rifle and saving, as the round is once again going to be LG's.
Yeah, just a slow kind of A take. I mean, it wasn't like they just threw a bunch of Molotovs and went. You know, they used the smokes. They took their time. And it's such a tough task. I'm telling you, trying to hold the A site from site itself, when you can't really play like quad or fence and whatnot, it's so difficult because that pop flash comes and you're just dead to rights as soon as it happens if they start pushing the site in that aspect. And then once the post plant happens, when your opera gets to forklift, it's such a tough task to retake. SK not able to do it. It did get down to a 3v3 though, but those post plant positions are very, very strong. And if you don't have the Molotovs to clear them out, it's a really difficult time to retake.
Yeah, and Fallen and the rest of the team really can't justify an investment besides what Fallen had saved in that last round here, so it is just going to be upgraded pistols and smokes across the board for a lot of these guys. Beyond that, though, firepower is non-existent on the SK side of things, but Deagles, though, certainly don't want to underestimate them. They can do some work if they have correct positioning to work with. Fallen, though, might actually get a big chance to find some impact himself as he is positioned on B. Smokes are covering off a whole lot, though, and SHZ has already managed to burn down coldzera. Showtime catches Phelps on the rotate. Fallen's still alive, but I think they know exactly where he's at. Not only this, but out of ammo on that M4, so only has the USP to play, which is firing off everything, but no connections really being made significantly enough here. PKL countering out the flank over there to eliminate Taco, and now Fur, again, no positioning. He does have armor and a CZ, so it is going to be more economically viable to just fall back and save this here now. LG, they're going to tie this up at 5-all.
Yeah, 5-all, and they should have a lot of money right now. Let's check it out. So, yeah, they're going to have a pretty good amount. All 5 are going to live this round, so that's going to hurt SK a lot. It's going to make him back into this, half and, trying to win a lot of these rounds difficult. Because LG is just going to be able to buy 2-3 rounds in a row, definitely, even if they lose them.
Yeah, and this game's been incredibly streaky too. It's been 5 rounds straight for SK after they won the pistol. They took the first round on the following round, but after that, it's all been LG here. So you can only imagine how different the score actually would have been if it was LG taking control of the pistol. And they got the momentum swing right from the start of things. This might be a lot more dominant for LG in this case now, as they're on the cusp of taking the lead if they can win out this last gun round.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, this cash is, in my opinion, LG's best chance to win. And SK doesn't look like, they just don't look as comfortable on this map, in my opinion, as they do on like a, overpass or a cobble, where just everybody knows exactly what they need to do in like 4v4 scenarios especially, right? They're just not as comfortable because they're still trying to learn it, trying to get used to it.
Well, for LG now, they will be sending all of their players over here into the B halls, keeping one, as we would expect, to watch out for a flank, and that'll be SHZ's job at the bomb and useless room. But everyone else in Sunroom getting ready to deploy Molotovs. They firebomb the site back out. coldzera does have a flash, but it's a little bit early. In fact, the execute is actually not going to follow through into this B-bomb site. They've gone back. They've gone over here into the garage, essentially into their default setup, with the exception of having a second guy sitting there in Sunroom right now. But Nothing else to be seen. And a flashbang dropping its way out. Yell, though, has plenty of coverage to be able to keep himself in. The main push is no longer here. It is going to be going towards A main, and the only one available to stop that is going to be Taco, up boosted towards Shroud's position. So big test for him, as rotations are, 10+ seconds away. If he doesn't multi-frag, this will be an almost instant save call for SK. In they go, they're the first one, looking for more, but it cannot be done. coldzera is able to catch out one of these players in mid, so they have a man advantage going into this one. And much like we've seen in the past, LG are really slow to take site control here. PKL finding one more, abusing that smoke a little bit, but ultimately Fur is now back in the site. No one realizing that Yell's going to come out for a mid, though, so this is a bit chaotic once again. Hopping back up, tries to go for that shot, but Phelps is ready for it, and he'll end the round in SK's favor. They'll just barely get to keep their lead going up 6-5. However, LG should have plenty of cash to resume right into another bye here.
Yeah, and if LG can win this round, it wouldn't surprise me if they end the half with, a 9-6 or worst case scenario 8-7 lead. I mean, SK they have pretty decent utility and a pretty good buy, but if they lose this round, it's going to be nothing else for them. That is it. They're going to have no money. So LG, this is like one of those really important swing rounds, and we'll see what they do. Like, this is when you want to just do your best, most confident type of strat that you have, and really give it your best here.
And it seems like they're going to go back to the old standard that they were using at the beginning of the round. Keep in mind, though, this is where they're actually losing a lot of their rounds when they try to go for these direct A plays. PKL, though, immediately striking through the squeaky door. He does manage to find Taco out peeking against it. And now the only one here to defend against a full push is going to be Fur, backed by Forklift, too, which usually ends up just getting traded 1-for-1 unless they don't check it for whatever reason. Then he can multi-frag, but that's a very rare occurrence.
Yeah, you usually want somebody, spotting for you, and this is good. Fallen might spot for him, and then he could peek out and get kills. He gets one kill at door, though, so that's a bad death for the LG guys.
He manages to just barely dodge the out. He might have actually gotten shot by Fallen there. It was a bit weird. So now PKL is going to swing around the quad side, and apparently SK, in that confusion, nobody was watching out for that, so he walks up and gets them both for free. Phelps back in mid, takes down Showtime, but still it's a 2v3, and they have no positioning to retake.
Yeah, and what happened was he got the kill onto Destiny, and he didn't know that there was another one door. It's not that common to have more than one door, so he wasn't really thinking about it. He wanted to fall back to site with Fallen. Pickle very smartly just kind of walks out and realizes that, hey, they probably just think only Destiny was there, shoots them both in the side. And that's what I'm talking about. That's like those small things that SK on this map doesn't seem totally comfortable on. And, it's something that will come in time. And I think this map can kind of play to a lot of their strengths if they just start playing it more and practicing it more and more. Not quite sure how much they have been working on it in the past, 2 months or so. But, I mean, it has all the recipes for them to be really good, right? Really good teamwork when it comes to, like, rotate flashes, right? Fast rotations. You could thrive in a double op setup. There's a lot of tricky things that you could do as well that SK really likes to utilize, whether it's like a counter boost at mid and things of that nature. So I think it has a lot of aspects that SK is really good at, and that could really help them be a really good cash team. They are going to force buy here, so they have 3 umps, and immediately coldzera pushes B. Fallen getting traded out by SHZ there, though I think that was close middle.
Yeah, it's brought down to a 4v4. Here's the problem for PKL, though. He's gotten so common. What? No. Okay. Taco does realize what's going on there with PKL, but he almost didn't see him first. He almost managed to pull a ninja and get behind the doorway. But Taco corrects it just before that flashbang fades away, too. And he's going to be able to get a second one. Destiny also spending so much time waiting for Taco to come back outside that first spots him over there by Toxic Barrels and takes him down, too. Now Taco pushing back in. He's going to add one more to the kill counter, ending up with 3 on the round. He just dominates LG, putting SK back in control once again. Yeah,
and they saved those 2 guns from the round before, if I'm not mistaken, and those 3 umps, and then look at how well they made the umps work. I mean, we've seen Taco consistently get aggressive at that door. I think he killed Pickle once. I think that's the 2nd time he did, and I don't think he's died doing it. Maybe he died once with like a USP or something like that, but constant door aggression.
Well, now coldzera is going to try and challenge again over here with this rifle, and actually he may get himself in a perfect position. That smoke that's been tossed up by the CTs, he has a little bit of an angle on it when they do peek around the corner. He's kind of got smoked out too, but that's also not perfect. He does have still this vision to try and punish them. Unfortunately, SHZ is going to get the better of them. However, Phelps pushing directly behind him, and no one's actually realized it. Still 2 in the sunroom, so he's got to be cautious. They could just spot him from the backside, and that is, unfortunately for SK, is what is going to happen here. Showtime knocking him down. Taco trying to contest in the vents, but he can't do anything, so all 5 stay alive from LG getting onto that B B-bomb site. Fallen trying to pick some off from Team A, but nothing being picked up. And again, boxed out of the site. This actually wouldn't be too crazy if it ended up in a save. However, I think with the flank from Fur, they may still just try to position for eggs at the very least to do some damage, but going into the last gun round, I think everybody on LG can afford a rebuy anyway, so that's really not going to matter.
Yeah, they should be able to. This is a smart save, though, because without this save, they're just going to be on full pistols. But they could, drop an ump each or something like that and definitely have a good buy going into the slash. Actually, they're going to be able to do more than that. I think if they could save all 3 of these guns, they're going to have basically a full buy for the slash round.
Yeah, and LG, in the meantime, are actually still quite low, so they'll get enough, obviously, for winning out the round, but if they lose too many players, it is going to make it a bit scrappy. Thankfully, PKL already being able to take down one of the 3 saving players for SK, and this is where SK, this is a bit of a mix-up, is now they are going to be down a bit more, but Taco spots them in the corner, but PKL again saving all of their lives. Takes down Taco, and only one actually ends up getting saved at the end of the round there for SK.
Yeah, but it made no sense for Taco to even go for that, because even if he kills somebody, it's just an unnecessary risk, right? They're just going to be able to rebuy anyways, so there's just no sense for going for that kill. No sense at all into doing that. So he pays for it, right? Now he has an ump instead of an M4, and they still do have a double op setup though for SK.
Utility is very lax, but look at this spray from Yell. Massive damage to Phelps. In fact, he finishes off the job. Coldzera, though, did respond to that beforehand, being able to take down Showtime earlier on, so it's just evenly traded down to a 4v4. LG, though, very quickly now moving themselves over here into the B halls to try and push forward. Not too much, though. Coldzera, if they do swing around that corner, will be waiting for them with an op. So they need to be very cautious about this. As beyond the quick trade that we saw happening at the beginning of the round, it still just becomes a default setup from LG.
Yeah, in 4v4, they're just kind of feeling it out, seeing if anybody has pushed middle. They're worried that somebody might be on the counter boost because they did kill somebody pushing up close middle, so it could have been like a 1-3-1 setup. SHZ going to molly cold out of position. But Taco, pretty aggressive A main. I think he's jump spotting. So he might have been able to see somebody. I'm not 100% sure. Pickle at the door, and it looks like it will be an A play.
Yeah, and he is getting ready to move out, who, again, has actually been rather successful in finding these kills, too. Shots alone for PKL have been impressive. This time, no, it won't be the case. Fur and Fallen both pick up the initial frags here on the site battle, and now the LG players are just going to be down to 2, as you have to remember they lost one at the beginning of the round here. SHZ does manage to take down Taco, where he almost lost his teammate before, but Yell, after recovering from that flashbang and being able to push out from Squeaky, down will go SHZ, and Fallen will sink the final shot there. It will be SK that'll hold the advantage coming out of the first half, but it's a small one at that. We'll see in just a few minutes if they can keep it going, or if the battle will rage on in the second half.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And we're back again, ladies and gentlemen, here. The battle is indeed raging on between SK and the new guys from LG here. As this map, I mean, you predicted it very well here. Obviously, the map that LG was going to be able to contest SK on was going to be this cash map, and we've seen it. It's gone down to the wire. They're just one round apart from each other here at halftime.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, SK just doesn't look fully comfortable. They don't look fully like they know what to do in every scenario like they do on every map. Like every map I see them play, you know, whether it's train or cobble or overpass, it just seems like even in scenarios, like for instance in the 3v5 on cobble, we saw Fur puts himself in a spot where he gets 2 kills, and then the rotate comes early towards A, and they just know how to maximize their chances of winning a round in spots where they're in a 3v4 or something like that. And it just doesn't seem to me like they kind of grasp that concept fully right now on Cash. So yeah, I think this is LG's, you know, best opportunity to get a win. So they are going to push B, and this is a nice boost. We saw this Astralis do this, and it works perfect.
coldzera and Phelps just absolutely destroy 3 players from LG. Destiny, PKL, and Showtime. There's just a pile of corpses there at that corner peak position. SHZ trying to tap away to find impact as SK will go across now, but the problem is they're also being pinched on by A. They get completely destroyed by this. SHZ finally getting a kill, but they're just hunting them down now, and it's all SK in their T-pistol.
Yep, that boost is pretty good. The guy on top, I believe he can't be headshotted from that angle. If we look at it from a third-person point of view, I'm almost positive he can't. It's not even the guy on top that got all the kills. It was just Cold just destroying them. But yeah, easy round for SK.
Yeah, so that gives them full control of the lead 4 right now, of course, as we do see the forced investment from LG. And these are the Deagles that we see at least going out on the 3 of that player, so maybe finding some impact there. Just 1 tag on a Fur, though, as the battle rage at mid. PKL was dropped down to 29 in trade. You can see Fur tapping into that corner there, hoping you could catch him still hanging out there, but PKL had dropped pretty far back as he's all the way in the hallway now, just outside of CT. So he's just going to change himself over here towards truck. And the rest of LG remain pretty evenly spread across the map. That is mid-control for SK, though, so their plans can essentially go anywhere now. And LG, unfortunately, really won't have good intel to work off of based on that. They don't have anybody pushed out too aggressively in B halls to see that those are currently empty. Nobody got aggressive over there in Squeaky, where they probably would have been killed, to be completely honest. But still, at least they would have found a player in there. So now they're kind of just playing into the default setup still, as they've lost mid-control, but that could still lead into either site. And Fur is going to start this site push now, getting himself up. A nice little peek that comes out from SHZ. Does do quite a bit of damage, actually, but now Taco is going to try to do the same from Squeaky. They'll molly out the player that's sitting over there behind the forklift, but actually it's 2 kills first off from LG before Phelps is able to move in and find a trade. They do want to go over the forklift peak to try and kill any players that are hiding out towards truck, but it's been relatively unsuccessful, so they'll just resolve to get onto the site and worry about all this, worry about all the retake that LG is going to throw at them here in just a few moments. Now, keep in mind, again, LG only invested into those pistols. They don't have a whole lot of utility. They will have to deal with still the flashbang that's sitting on Fallen, but at the same time, it's just that flashbang for SK. They don't have a lot of utility to hold this back up, and they have superior numbers moving back in. Destiny distracting a whole lot of them. Oh, coldzera was almost caught from the side, but they do seem to be handling it quite nicely, and they get all 4 of those kills cleanly. No one else from SK goes down, and in the post plant, it is a very, very secure hold.
SK is so good with umps.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Like, they're just so good with this gun. I wonder if this gun will ever get nerfed.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous for $1,200. Like, it's absurd.
People only really started complaining about it at the major, though. Like, before that,
yeah,
it wasn't.
but I mean, think about it. Like, the CZ, nobody realized how good that was. And then JW just started destroying everybody with it. And then everybody started using it. Oh, yeah, and Pasha, too. Piccolo just killing Phelps in the back there. 3 players peeking highway, though.
Well, we do have Taco here along with Fallen, and again, the UMPs will continue to reign supreme. Although, that's not necessarily going to mean
That's a great eco so far by Destiny. Even has the bomb down. So LG is definitely going to be happy with this. But yeah, like, a lot of the time it takes you time to realize how overpowered something it is, and then everybody starts just abusing it. And for $1,200, it's just so good.
They, despite the fact that Destiny got bomb control here, he actually has kind of evacuated away and is going to take a bit of a gamble, to be completely honest, by wrapping himself around here. This is a lot of time that is going to be wasted, where in theory SK could have just grabbed the bomb and rushed over to the B site, but he's smart about this. He actually, I think, has gotten into a read that they are going to take this really slowly. So now he's going to have a massive flank working against them. SK has kind of increased their pace, though, so he may need to speed up himself if he wants to catch these guys in mid before they transition either into the vents or fall back to that mid garage. And he gets them here, finds one. That is not going to be the bomb, however. Looks like coldzera is just going to take the duel. It's an AK being worked with there from Destiny, but coldzera does get the better angle at the end of the day, and he'll win pointed out, but still, on essentially a full save, LG do manage to bring it down to 1 player. So that's massive damage done, and forcing essentially everybody to rebuy heading into the first gun round.
Yeah, and I think Showtime is usually one of LG's, I don't want to say standout performers, because I think Yell and Pickle to me are their 2 best players, especially like frag-wise. But he usually definitely plays well and holds his own. I think he's a pretty good player. But if you remember, he ranked for SK, and I mean, I remember Cold specifically was like really unhappy with him after like that match versus Renegades, right? So you got to think maybe he has like some nerves going on right now playing against these guys, because he's 3-14, and Showtime usually plays very, very well, in my opinion at least, for LG.
Well, SK spreading out into the default pattern now in this first gun round here. A lot riding on the line where they get 1 or 2 more of these, and they can essentially secure this map in the 2-0 for the evening. But LG has shown that they're certainly not going to be one to give up the fight immediately. So this is where things could get a lot closer, and LG could start to close that gap in these gun rounds now that they finally have the even firepower. But again, really not being too inquisitive around the map here, not trying to scout out for intel or anything. So SK, they have their wits about them. They can essentially do anything they want. Mid controls where they'll start to have a little bit of problems, but like we saw right there, coldzera was allowed free access to checkers. No one even challenged him over here on the team main cross, as both the CTs are just sitting up on platform. So he goes in, tags Destiny for a little bit of damage, and then promptly just kind of backs out there.
Yeah, and they have to be so worried about B right now. You see they basically have 3 players towards it, and it's SHZ alone in A. Phelps coming out middle. That's a battle that Yell needed to take and win. That was a very smart decision by them.
SHZ is going to get found out in the open here too, so things are turning around a little bit here. Unfortunately, with the death of SHZ, they could go back pretty quickly, although that's impressive from Yell, dropping back down the 180 to finish off Fur, and he almost gets the additional kill here too. But doesn't pan out. Fallen survives and gets the op kill against him. So we go back down into another even battle. Heavy presence. Every single member of LG is coming from truck right now. They're just going to push directly back in. And this can actually be quite tough for Fallen. Oh my god. Taco and coldzera. coldzera, the timing on that just barely works out for him, as he was still pulling his gun out when we switched to his perspective. Still though, gets the double kill, and his teammate bails him out from getting traded. Yeah, that was a good job by Yell peeking towards middle at that time. He had to understand that, hey, my teammates are really out of position. If I let this guy get to white box, and then like an AXQ comes because they haven't hit B yet, we're probably going to lose the round. So he wide peeks middle, takes care of that. He understands that, max there might be 2 players there because they just put B pressure, right? So takes control of that. But then, SHZ dying on that sight peak was what really did him in for that round. Being out of position though because of Cold pushing back B and then pushing that into an A take was very smart by SK. Already seeing PKL go down here due to early aggression, so once again putting us into a 5-4. But it's just an upgraded pistol round for some from LG here. Not even everybody has purchased into that, so we weren't expecting anything great to begin with. Just a washover round for the most part, and it seems, well, to that point, like SK, we're going to get through with all 5 alive, but Yell did sneak in one Huandig against Phelps, and not before Taco moves right into the A site and finishes off the last 2.
Yeah, and if you saw that very first gun round by SK, we saw them dictate the rotates, pull some guy towards B. I'm not sure who it was on LG. It had to, I think it was Pickle, actually. And then they hit A, essentially, right? So this is a map where it's cash, and this is why a lot of people, on cash, they opt to just try to put pressure across the map, push A main a lot like that, because you can dictate rotates very well, and Molotovs are so powerful. So a lot of time you don't want to let people set up, but that was a very well played round by SK. In that first gun round.
It is just going to be, again, SK spreading out here into the default as coldzera sits back in T-spawn to watch for B-Hall's pressure. Yell, though, actually, he had a great angle to try and catch. I believe it was Taco sitting in the backside, and he does actually connect the shot, but it's very heavily through a wall instead of clean. So it only is going to bring him down to 27 HP instead of getting the full connection to knock him out of the fray. SK, though, now moving in to take some fast control from mid. There's, again, 0 presence here from LG. They focused 100% of the sites this round. They do have a lot of guys crowded on highway, though, so it may be a bit problematic when Fur and the rest of them do try to peek back out. But hopefully they can chain this also into some A main pressure and pull those guys away from highway. As right now, that's probably going to be the biggest pressure point that SK will have some trouble getting into.
Yeah, and not a good Z smoke by Phelps, so Fur does not want to try to work that up to highway. So he just opts to re-smoke it, and they're going to go back towards B and do some sort of a take. But you see how LG's playing? Now they did a door push. So this door push should tell them that, hey, we could rotate 3 towards B. They have a nice setup there. We'll see if SK is going to molly this back box. If they molly it, they could definitely win the round. It looks like they will.
They go directly for it. He is going to toss the response smoke, though, so just camps it for the time being. They'll know he's there now because of that one, so they can play against that. But actually, LG are making it quite dangerous due to that one here. They're really focused on knocking out Destiny. Showtime's already found a kill. The rest are trying to move back in. Showtime with a second, SHZ and PKL, and they are just going to destroy that hit. SK gets so focused on that player in back checkers that they fail to look towards the site, and that's where they get utterly destroyed.
Yeah, and Destiny out that back box, having that smoke, just staying alive, made it so much easier for his players at site. The door push that came out at A allowed them to have 3 towards B to make that hold even easier. And then that 4th guy was coming with a fast rotate as well. So LG played that very well. They had a nice risk, calculated risk that they took at A, and then, you know, leaned towards B pretty heavy, and it worked out very well for them.
So for SK here, again, spreading out across the map, but very, very quickly in towards mid, as we can already see Phelps sitting over here at the vents, and I don't even think PKL expected that at all. So he just goes for a jump to toss in a nade and meets his end pretty quickly. That's some big balls to make that move, but it works out for SKs. Now they got the 5v4 advantage.
Yeah, and that is a very unfortunate way to, you know, give SK advantage into this round. Just, you come out from a big round like that, you do a great job, it's 4v5 the next round within 10 seconds. You know, it's kind of demoralizing.
SK, though, have only gotten that highway control. They have yet to actually get this up to the site. LG, though, is going to be a little bit of having their attention divided, since there is the possibility of a Z flank coming in here too. SHZ trying to hold an A main. They counteract the aggression with some of their own, but it only works out for a trade, and this does not favor LG currently. Yellow catches Phelps with his back turned to truck, so that's a little treat for him to be able to steal away. Now we're even again, and they'll just re-smoke off here. I don't think they're going to really respect that, though, as we can already see. I think it's Cold pushing through with the bomb to try and go for the plan, and Taco is ready for the peek from Yell on the truck corner. So it'll be up to Destiny and Showtime to clutch this back out, as both have arrived at the truck position to push back in towards this A-bomb site. And meanwhile, over on the A side, they still only have 2 here. We're still actually waiting for Fur to rejoin the fray. Molotov's going to send Taco out. They do get that kill. Coldzera is there for a trade. Showtime is pretty far detached from this, though. So actually, when he peeks back out, Coldzera is going to manage it. But even if Coldzera had gone down, they had Fur and Highway, and he should have been able to handle that pretty easily. Yeah,
he probably would have been able to kill him on the cross. But the reason Showtime couldn't really peek with his teammate is because he was trying to hold, you know, around Forker Highway. I think they knew somebody was delayed across the map, and he thought, hey, that guy's going to shoot there, and then that third player is going to peek, so he's going to kill that player and then be able to focus on a 1v1. Fortunately for him, it doesn't work out that way, and now it's 8-14, and they're on a very poorly bought round. Double nades in middle, but SK Fur down to about 20 HP, almost goes down through the smoke, but he does have a read on probably what their setup looks like. He knows there's at least 2 around the middle area. Fallen takes over on his spot, spams through the smoke a bit. So SK is just taking this a little bit slowly, and they're smart about it, because look at OG's utility. You know, they wait 30 seconds, and OG has, what is it, 4 flashbangs and a smoke. You know, so that's not going to be able to be enough to really win a round against SK. So they smartly actually go for some type of an aggression in the door, similar to what Taco was doing that first half. It's just, you know, Taco's ready for it and gets the kill.
He's also going to be able to take down Yells. They're down to 2. Showtime sitting in that corner outside of Garage also doesn't get anything done. The last smoke was just used by Destiny on B. And again, like I said, SK hasn't even had to divert from that default setting yet. This isn't even them aligning for the site take and then finding the kills there. This is still them just sitting back and running the time down, and they take down literally everyone by chilling in that setup there. So now they're going to push up to 15. They're only 1 away, and look at this buy from Luminosity they're going to have going into it. It'll just be upgraded pistols with random spurts of utility.
Yeah, not much for them, but, you know, even though, like, Taco got those 2 kills at the door, I mean, I think, in my mind, that's probably your best chance to win the round, something like that. You know, something where you can get close quarters. I mean, Taco's pretty pushed up pretty far, right? You definitely could have pushed and killed him. So I don't fault them for their decision-making at all around there. Now they just get quick boost in the middle. Pickle dies right away. Now Cold at B has just been destroying every single round. I mean, these guys have, like, no chance. every time they push, anytime he puts pressure, he's like really dictating the pace over at that side of the map.
SHG sitting on the side of the white box. Phelps goes in. Perfect flashbang. No problem there. And he gets the last kill as well. So there you go, folks. A 4K from Phelps to close it out. And it is indeed SK that follow through with their victory on Cobblestone and take just as dominant of one here on our second map for Cash. They'll take it, and they'll take as well a 2-0 record for tonight.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if SK ever plays like Fnatic on Cash. That would be a really interesting game because I want to see if, Dennis and Olafmeister have been playing Beyond Cash and they push it like constantly. If there's one guy there, they always try to fight him. I wonder if they would fight Cold and what would happen in that matchup because he is so good when he's like on an island like that and knowing when to put pressure and when to fall back and how to utilize his nades and how to dictate rotates and whatnot. So.
All right, so to break down the final moments of this set, we are going to send it back over to the analysis desk. Guys, take it away and tell us your thoughts there on map number 2.
Thank you very much, Blue and Dazed. Right away, give me some impressions.
Well, SK is a better team than Luminosity. So you got that bombshell right out the gate. But no, this is kind of like we expected it to be. I think what Daze was saying during the broadcast, the fact that you can tell SK are not the most comfortable team on Cash is very true. But this is just a case of them being so much better just at basic fundamental CS and just individually that it carries them through.
Right. I mean, there's obviously a skill gap between SK and Luminosity.
Yeah.
But then there's also there's the argument to be made that this team in SK is more talented. And that's why they're just overpowering. They're overskill. They're overskilling.
Yeah. Outskilling them, overpowering, just having their way with their little brother in that sense. So you're slapping them around in a big way. So, and that's kind of what we came into the game expecting as well. But to be fair, Luminosity did show some consistency in how they're played. Their T side on Cash, for instance, was very calm in that sense. So they didn't necessarily get rattled by the fact that they're playing SK.
Well, let's talk about Pickle going out this door here. We got round 12 loaded up for you guys at home. Let's take a look at it right now.
Yeah, and this is kind of a showcase of how SK aren't really super comfortable about the situation or playing Cash. And this is after losing the first frag, Fallen rotates up over to the A bomb site to help out Fern. Fern finds the first one from Truck, but it's what they do here. Normally you'd see SK have like a full clear idea of what they wanted to do in a situation like this, but Fur and Fallen kind of end up not really knowing what's going on. So Fur looks at Fallen instead of covering door. I think you might have been, or if SK had been more practiced on that map, you probably see Fur hanging out by Truck for longer because Fallen has the main angle covered off, or Fallen rotates in towards sight. Like something to that sort instead of them just looking at each other and then obviously allowing PKL to basically clear up the entire A-bomb site.
Essentially looked at each other and said, what?
Yeah, like what now?
And then next thing you know, they're getting shot from the door.
Exactly. And even when they have slip-ups like that, they still manage to win with pretty confident numbers, right? And that, again, goes to show how skilled they are. But you can definitely tell, like, that's not going to hold up versus a top-tier team. And that's why you don't see SK play too often in international tournaments.
Oh, absolutely. Let's take a look now at round 16. We had an interesting stack here from the SK side.
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
And you can see it. And oftentimes when you see CT side aggression on pissed around, it's going to come from the B bomb side. And SK, if you're not comfortable with the map, what's the best idea to kind of cope with that? Well, you steal strats, right? So this is, taking a page out of Astral's playbook with the tower, waiting for the aggression to come out. I don't think they expected it to pan out as well as it did. Cold Syria obviously getting a triple kill that immediately seals the round for them. But, they're able to adapt. And I think SK's T side was way better than their CT side on this map. Their CT side was very stagnant in that sense. From the maybe first 4 or 5 rounds on their CT side, they rarely actually went for any sort of aggression. They became kind of timid, which allowed Luminosity to have a lot more chance of actually setting up executes or getting map control.
No, absolutely. And even in that situation, had that pistol gone a different way, it wouldn't have changed. Yeah, it wouldn't have probably changed the entire outcome of the match.
No, but it'll pretty up the results for sure.
It would have made it look just a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But if you like the way that looked, you can go get that VOD right now at youtube.com/ESLCS, where you could find all the VODs from this Pro League season and some bright and shining faces and us and Blue and Dazed. Bach too. Yeah, got a pretty shining face. But most definitely go check that out. Go grab those VODs if you want to try to learn something from there. Probably more to take away from on Cash from some other teams, but
yeah.
I mean, still
Cobble though.
Yeah, Cobble for sure, 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, when we come back, we're going to get up into Optic and Energy on 2 maps. And let me tell you guys, you don't want to miss that one. We'll be right back.